Well, tennis player, ophthalmologist, transsexual Dr. Renee Richards is writing a book about her life. It is tentatively titled Tennis Without Balls.
Anna Nicole Smith was hospitalized twice this year. Her people said it was for exhaustion. For once, I believe them. If I had to lug these two giant sandbags around all day, I'd be exhausted too. I heard she had a second spine put in.
Nike has announced that it'll start testing a large-scale 3D printer to make Air Jordans. The way it works is that the printer actually makes little Malaysian kids.
Pepsi announced a new Peeps-flavored soda for Easter. It's perfect for Easter because it will make your digestive system say, Jesus Christ.
A study on weight loss revealed this week that women who participate in a weekly diet program lost 50% more weight, snacked less, and bought more fruits and vegetables than women in general. Which just goes to prove my new theory: Richard Simmons is gay.
The woman who shot Selena was the president of her fan club. This kind of thing makes you stop and think. Why can't Michael Bolton's fan club show some initiative?
A new poll shows that 75% of LGBTQ voters support Joe Biden, but 0% of them support Joe Biden guessing what the B, T, and Q stand for.
Actor Jon Voight recently released a video claiming that Abraham Lincoln's spirit was guiding Donald Trump. Hopefully not to a theater.
Ugandan President Idi Amin announced he will undergo a species change operation in an effort to become a human being. If the operation is successful, Amin says he will pursue a career on American television. If it is not successful, he will eat American television.
Before he collapsed on stage, Michael Jackson sold some of his publishing rights for $100 million. Do you have any idea how much $100 million can buy these days? 5 free molestings. That's right. It's a deal.
Well, let's get to O.J. O.J. Simpson's lawyers say they don't want the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman in the courtroom during the trial. They're afraid the presence of the family members will just remind O.J. of how much more killing he still has to do.
I don't know if you saw this. Yesterday, a large section of California's famed Highway 1 collapsed into the ocean. And I hate to agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I think it was Jewish space lasers.
Orthodox Jewish leaders in New York City lashed out at a newly imposed coronavirus restriction in their neighborhoods by setting fires and burning masks. And it's a miracle because the mask burned for 8 nights.
Come on, dude.
That's a good one. Come on. Stop it. Stop it.
And the Pope came out with a book this week, which contains a series of essays examining faith and morality in today's secular world and the changing role of the Catholic Church as it approaches the 21st century. The book is entitled, God Himself Told Me That O.J. is Guilty.
R. Kelly has faced a string of financial problems, including unpaid child support. Although for R. Kelly, unpaid child support is also alimony. But do you get it?
A man in Virginia is being called the greatest Uber driver ever after he and his teenage passenger got stuck in a snowstorm and he got a hotel room so she would be safe. Coincidentally, the worst Uber driver ever also brought his teenage passenger to a hotel room.
Jonathan Schmitz, the Jenny Jones guest who killed his secret gay admirer because of his fear and hatred of homosexuality, has been sentenced to 25 years in prison. Well, I guess that plan backfired, huh?
Military officials have announced that they will increase missions to train, advise, and assist troops in the African nation of Niger. The focus on Niger is viewed as a direct challenge to President Trump's autocorrect.
This week, CBS aired the Martha Stewart Christmas special, in which she demonstrated that with an old soup can, some used tea bags, some string, and some sparkles, you can make a useless piece of crap.
The Treasury Department announced that they will resume efforts to replace Andrew Jackson on a $20 bill with Harriet Tubman. I'm excited to celebrate those Tubman 20s with a few underground rails. It was revealed that Freddie, the world's tallest dog, has died. The cause of death has been listed as ceiling fan.
And now, Weekend Update would like to wish a happy birthday to comic legend George Burns, who turned 100 years old today. You know, I don't know the secret to his longevity, but I think I speak for all of us when I say I hope Pauly Shore doesn't know it either.
The chief, well, you're not going to like this. The chief of the Cherokee Nation is calling on car maker Jeep to stop using the tribe's name on its vehicles. So Jeep has agreed to change the name to, wow, the Aunt Jemima Mobile.
A lesbian bar in New York City is now offering on-site COVID tests for customers. They plan to use a much less invasive technique where they sort of just grind around the outside.
And finally, this Christmas, Santa Claus will be starting a new look at up-to-date shopping malls around the country. They will now feature black Santas, Asian Santas, Hispanic Santas, and even Middle Eastern Santas. It is all part of a program to make little children cry.
Insiders are saying that producers for the Broadway hit Hamilton are planning to reopen the show on July 4th. Hopefully with some goddamn white actors this time.
Almost 100 art industry figures have criticized 4 different museum plans to postpone exhibits featuring an artist's paintings of the KKK. But if you want to see portraits of Klansmen, you can always search Jost on Ancestry.com. Okay, well, whatever.
This week, President Clinton made history when he nominated Madeleine Albright to be first female Secretary of State. Responding to critics who say that she is not the best choice, the president insisted, quote, "She looks a lot better after a couple of drinks."
A man proposed to his longtime girlfriend while she was in the middle of the New York City Marathon. Because what woman can resist a man who doesn't wait for her to finish?
A new report shows that about 6 million Americans now identify as Afro-Latino. Afro-Latino is also what Spirit Halloween calls their unlicensed Bruno Mars costumes.
Demi Moore is wrapped filming on G.I. Jane, in which she plays a Navy SEAL combat officer. Moore says that in contrast to other Hollywood portrayals of women in the military, her character will have giant breasts.
Officials at the Barcelona Zoo revealed that 4 lions at the facility tested positive for coronavirus. Even more shocking, it's because they attended a Hasidic wedding.
In the wake of the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas, insiders praised President Biden's light touch when dealing with Benjamin Netanyahu. But in fairness, everything Biden does involves some kind of touch.
Former First Lady Nancy Reagan reports that her husband has been relaxing at their ranch, riding horses and chopping wood. Sadly, eyewitnesses report that he was actually riding wood and chopping horses.
Oh, it's getting worse. A woman flying to Detroit said she woke up to a pastor urinating on her. which explains why her dream was about her being baptized. It was reported that a 117-year-old nun in France has survived coronavirus, and she's actually starting to get insulted that God doesn't want to meet her.
A woman in Arizona gave birth to a 14-pound baby boy. So now Arizona has 2 Grand Canyons. It's a math joke. I'm surprised you guys didn't get it.
Oh, my God.
A person who suffers 2 sharp, powerful blows to the head within a short period of time can suffer brain damage or even die. This, according to a new study in the medical journal Duh.
Police in Ohio say that a report of a homeless man sleeping on a bench turned out to be a statue, which was a huge relief because they shot it 15 times.
Tuesday was National Puppy Day, unfortunately at Subway.
Finally, some good news. According to her doctor, legendary actress Katharine Hepburn is recovering nicely from her recent illness, and they have even upgraded her condition to decrepit. So that's nice. Well, you don't like her? You don't like Katharine Hepburn, for God's sake?
This week, there was a full moon known as the Beaver Moon, which can be seen about a month after a waxing moon.
That's a good joke. That's a good one. In a recent study, scientists created 3D scans of dolphin vaginas and found that a dolphin's clitoris is remarkably similar to a human woman's. Said the night janitor at SeaWorld, well, I could have told you that.
George Foreman says his upcoming autobiography will be an inspiration to every American who has tried to reach the impossible dream. And in a related story, former heavyweight champion Michael Moorer says that he wants his autobiography to be an inspiration to anyone who's ever been beaten up by an old man.
Southwest Airlines has changed their policy for emotional support animals and will now only allow cats and dogs on board, while over at Spirit, everyone's given a snake.
Washington Power twosome Mary Madeline and James Carville are expecting their first baby in July. No one knows if the baby will be a Democrat or a Republican, but doctors are sure of one thing: it will be weird looking.
A cat who was buried by its owner after it was hit by a car dug its way out of the grave and returned to its owner 5 days later. That story again, a lady found a cat that looked like her old cat.
A new study finds that frogs in the rainforest have a higher pitch call than urban frogs. The study also finds that female frogs be shopping.
Well, a big seller this holiday season is Michael Bolton's Christmas album, This Is the Time. Happy birthday, Jesus. Hope you like crap.
A new study shows that a 45-minute nap in the middle of the day can enhance a person's memories. Memories like, oh, right, I'm an alcoholic.
In an interview this week, Bob Dole said he is strong enough to handle the pain of losing the presidential election, although he did admit that the shock of winning would give him a giant heart attack.
Scientists are working to develop advanced ultra-black materials that are so dark they absorb 99% of all light. Oh, sure, but when I try to develop ultra-black material, I'm booed at the Apollo.
Who are safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentages in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do, do you? No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women.